Hey there, folks. If you want to stay ahead of the weather, make sure to follow Sky Alert USA to catch this and all our future videos. And don't forget to support us by subscribing, liking, and dropping a comment. It really helps us out. Sky Alert USA brings you a comprehensive weather report. December 18th, 2024. We're tracking a major storm system impacting the USA and Canada. Breaking news. A powerful coast-to-coast storm is unleashing dangerous conditions. Good evening. I'm bringing you critical weather updates for December 18th, 2024, as a massive and dangerous storm system continues to wreak havoc across the United States and Canada. This is not your typical winter weather event. We're witnessing one of the most significant multi-hazard storm systems of the season, affecting millions from the Pacific Northwest to the Great Lakes, with severe impacts expected to persist through the weekend. Today's immediate threats. December 18th. The Pacific Northwest is experiencing catastrophic conditions today as a powerful storm system continues its destructive path. Widespread damaging wind gusts of 50 to 70 miles per hour are forecast across much of the northwest United States, the Rockies, and the Plains today. This is an extremely dangerous situation that has already resulted in widespread power outages and property damage. A 71-mile-per-hour wind gust was clocked at Naval Air Station Whidbey Island in the Puget Sound, and a 138-mile-per-hour gale was recorded on Mount Hood, Oregon. These are hurricane-force winds capable of causing devastating damage to structures, downing trees, and creating life-threatening conditions for anyone caught outdoors. The region is also dealing with ongoing flooding concerns. Beginning on December 8, 2025, a series of severe floods impacted rivers and lowlands in the Pacific Northwest, particularly western Washington in the United States and the Fraser Valley in British Columbia, Canada. Today's additional rainfall is compounding the already saturated conditions, with flash flooding and mudslides remaining significant threats. Washington state officials are taking this threat extremely seriously. Washington State Department of Transportation and Idaho Transportation Department told Non-Stop Local they treat hazard trees in preparation for wind events like this. The memory of recent tragedies remains fresh. Just a year ago, 2 lives were lost when a dead tree fell onto their vehicle during similar conditions. As the storm system moves inland, it's creating treacherous blizzard conditions across the northern Rockies and Plains states. The combination of heavy snowfall and powerful winds is producing whiteout conditions that make travel extremely dangerous, if not impossible. High wind warnings and wind advisories cover much of the Northwest, the Rockies, the Rocky Front Range, and the northern half of the Plains and Mississippi Valley. Sustained winds of 25 to 45 miles per hour, combined with gusts reaching 50 to 75 miles per hour, are creating life-threatening blowing snow conditions. Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota are experiencing the brunt of these blizzard conditions. Visibility has been reduced to near zero in many areas, with snow falling at rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour. The National Weather Service has issued blizzard warnings across northeastern Montana, northern North Dakota, and northwestern Minnesota, warning residents that travel could become impossible. In a stark contrast to the snow and ice plaguing other regions, eastern Colorado faces a critical fire weather threat today. Elevated to critical fire weather expected in eastern Colorado today. The combination of extremely low humidity, strong downslope winds coming off the Rocky Mountains, and dry vegetation has created an extremely dangerous fire environment. Strong winds coming down the Rocky Mountains, combined with the relatively dry conditions across the state, could quickly spread any fires that spark. Colorado officials have warned of possible public safety power shutoffs in high-risk areas to prevent wind-damaged power lines from sparking wildfires. Canada winter storm conditions intensify. Atlantic Canada prepares for a significant winter storm. Eastern Canada is bracing for a powerful winter storm that meteorologists warn could undergo explosive intensification. A powerful winter storm system that may undergo explosive cyclogenesis, known as a weather bomb, is expected to bring heavy snowfall and strong winds across parts of Atlantic Canada, with freezing rain and heavy rainfall possible in places. The forecast is particularly concerning for Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and Newfoundland. Snowfall accumulations of 10 to 30 centimeters and winds gusting up to 100 kilometers per hour are expected across parts of the region, with rainfall totals in excess of 6 centimeters and significant freezing rain possible in parts of Newfoundland. This type of rapidly intensifying storm system can bring dramatic weather changes in very short periods. Residents should prepare for extended power outages, hazardous travel conditions, and the possibility of being unable to leave their homes for several days. Ontario and Quebec. Lake effect snow machine activated. The Great Lakes region of Canada is experiencing significant lake effect snow today, with bands of heavy snow setting up east and south of the lakes. Lake effect snow is also forecast across parts of the Ontario Peninsula December 20th to 21st, with accumulations of up to 10 centimeters possible. Toronto is seeing fluctuating conditions, with temperatures hovering around freezing, creating slippery conditions on roadways. Montreal is dealing with a mix of rain and snow, with temperatures in the upper 30s Fahrenheit. These conditions are expected to persist through the evening hours before transitioning to steadier snow overnight. 3-day forecast. December 19th through the 21st, 2024. Thursday, December 19th. Storm system shifts eastward. Tomorrow brings no relief for millions across the central United States as the powerful storm system continues its eastward progression. The main area of low pressure will track along the US-Canada border, while a strong cold front surges southward. For the northern plains and upper Midwest, expect continued snow with blizzard conditions. The Dakotas, Minnesota, and northern Wisconsin will see an additional 4 to 8 inches of snow, with locally higher amounts possible. Winds will remain dangerously strong, with gusts exceeding 50 miles per hour, creating whiteout conditions and making travel extremely hazardous. Chicago is under a winter weather advisory, with 2 to 5 inches of snow expected during the morning commute. This will create slick roadways and sidewalks right during rush hour, leading to significant delays. The temperature will drop throughout the day, with any melting snow refreezing by evening. The Great Lakes will continue to produce intense lake-effect snow bands. Areas downwind of Lakes Erie and Ontario, including Buffalo, Erie and Cleveland, should prepare for heavy additional snowfall. Some locations could see another 6 to 12 inches of snow on top of what has already fallen. The Pacific Northwest will see a brief lull in the most intense weather, but another atmospheric river system is already developing in the Pacific and will approach the coast by evening. Rain will return to western Washington and Oregon, with snow levels initially staying above 6,000 feet before lowering overnight. Friday, December 20th. Continued winter weather impacts. Friday brings continued challenging conditions across multiple regions. The northeast will wake up to fresh snowfall as the storm system finally reaches the eastern seaboard. New York, Pennsylvania, and New England should prepare for a messy morning commute with rain mixing with and changing to snow. Showers mainly after 1 a.m., temperature rising to around 56 by 4 a.m. Windy with a south wind 10 to 20 miles per hour, increasing to 21 to 31 miles per hour after midnight. This pattern will affect the entire eastern seaboard, bringing strong winds and heavy precipitation. A wind advisory has been issued for the northeast region. Wind advisory. December 19th, 12 a.m. until December 20th, 12 a.m. These strong winds could cause additional power outages and make travel difficult, especially for high-profile vehicles. The Great Lakes region will continue to experience relentless lake-effect snow. Erie, Pennsylvania, which has already set records for snowfall this season, could see another significant accumulation event. Buffalo and surrounding areas remain under lake-effect snow warnings, with an additional 8 to 16 inches possible through Friday evening. In Canada, the Atlantic provinces will be dealing with the full force of the winter storm. Snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour are possible in the heaviest bands, with blizzard conditions expected across Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Coastal areas may see a transition to freezing rain, creating extremely hazardous ice accumulations on all surfaces. Western Canada will see improving conditions in British Columbia and Alberta, though temperatures will remain well below normal. The prairie provinces will continue to experience bitterly cold conditions, with wind chills potentially reaching -40 degrees Fahrenheit in some areas. Saturday, December 21st. Winter Solstice Storm. Saturday marks the winter solstice, the shortest day and the longest night of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. Unfortunately, Mother Nature has decided to mark the occasion with continued stormy weather across multiple regions. Saturday, December 21st, is the winter solstice, marking the longest night and shortest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. Temperatures will be warmer than normal across much of the United States, east of the Rockies, and near to below normal elsewhere. The Pacific Northwest faces renewed threats as another powerful atmospheric river makes landfall. There continues to be good consistency and agreement in the dynamical models featuring a highly amplified 500 HPA ridge over the north-central Pacific, with strong troughing downstream over the northeastern Pacific to promote atmospheric river activity over the west coast, continuing into next week. This is particularly concerning for Washington state, which is still recovering from the devastating floods of the past 2 weeks. The ground remains saturated, rivers are running high, and any additional rainfall will immediately convert to runoff. Flash flood watches will likely be issued for western Washington and northwestern Oregon. The Great Lakes snowbelts will finally see a reduction in lake-effect snow intensity as wind directions become less favorable. However, a new weather system approaching from the west could bring another round of widespread snow to the upper Midwest by Saturday evening. Eastern Canada continues to dig out from the major winter storm, with travel remaining hazardous across the maritime provinces. Coastal areas of Newfoundland could still be dealing with freezing rain and ice accumulations through Saturday morning. Looking ahead, extended outlook through Christmas. The weather pattern shows no signs of settling down as we approach the Christmas holiday week. The Pacific Northwest faces the concerning possibility of multiple additional atmospheric river events. Any renewed atmospheric river activity over the northwestern continental United States may be particularly impactful in light of the copious precipitation received, over 20 inches in some locations over a 10-day span, triggering recent flooding over many portions of Washington. Forecasters are monitoring the potential for another significant atmospheric river event around December 27th to 29th. The GEFS continues to be the driest when compared to the other models, though it indicates a substantial uptick in the probabilities for 3-day amounts exceeding 2 inches for days 10 to 12, December 27th to 29th. This could bring renewed flooding concerns to areas that are still recovering from this week's historic flooding. The pattern across the eastern United States is expected to remain active, with multiple storm systems possible during Christmas week. The Climate Prediction Center's extended outlook suggests continued below-normal temperatures across the northern tier of states, with above-normal precipitation likely across the Pacific Northwest and Great Lakes regions. Safety recommendations and preparedness measures. For those in winter storm warning areas, the National Weather Service cannot stress enough the dangers of travel during blizzard conditions. If you must travel, ensure your vehicle is winter-ready with a full tank of gas. Emergency supplies, including blankets, food, water, and a fully charged cell phone. Let someone know your route and expected arrival time. Avoid travel, if at all possible, during blizzard warnings. Whiteout conditions can develop suddenly, disorienting even experienced drivers. Multiple vehicle pileups have already occurred across the northern plains and upper Midwest during this storm system. For Pacific Northwest residents, with continued atmospheric river activity in the forecast, now is the time to prepare for potential flooding. Clear storm drains near your property, move valuables to higher floors if you live in flood-prone areas, and have an evacuation plan ready. Monitor local emergency management communications closely. Power outages remain a significant concern, with high winds forecast to continue. Charge all electronic devices, have flashlights and batteries ready, and never use gas-powered generators indoors or in attached garages due to carbon monoxide poisoning risks. For those under high wind warnings, secure all outdoor objects that could become projectiles in high winds. Avoid unnecessary travel, especially in high-profile vehicles. Stay away from windows during peak wind gusts. Be prepared for power outages and have alternative heating sources ready if needed, but always follow safety guidelines. If you lose power, remember that most carbon monoxide poisoning deaths following winter storms occur from improper use of generators, grills, and other combustion devices indoors. Never use these devices inside your home, garage, or any enclosed space. For fire weather warning areas, eastern Colorado residents should avoid any outdoor burning and report any signs of smoke immediately. Have evacuation routes planned in case wildfires develop. Keep vehicles fueled and pointed toward exit routes. Charge all devices and have important documents ready to grab if evacuation orders are issued. Aviation and transportation impacts, well, they're already being felt. Airlines have already cancelled hundreds of flights across the affected regions, with Chicago O'Hare, Minneapolis-St. Paul, Buffalo, and Seattle-Tacoma experiencing the most significant disruptions. If you have travel plans over the next several days, make sure you check your flight status before heading to the airport and, maybe consider travel insurance for a bit more flexibility. Major highways have been closed intermittently across the northern plains and Pacific Northwest due to whiteout conditions and flooding. Interstate 90 has seen multiple closures in Montana, South Dakota, and western New York. US Route 2 across Stevens Pass in Washington was closed due to mudslides and avalanche danger. Amtrak has also modified service on several routes through the affected areas, with delays and cancellations expected to continue through the weekend. So, just a heads up, check with your carrier before attempting to travel by train. Climate context: atmospheric rivers and winter storms. The atmospheric river events affecting the Pacific Northwest are, becoming more intense and frequent due to climate change. Atmospheric rivers are likely to increase in frequency and severity due to human-caused climate change. While these systems are a natural part of the Pacific Northwest climate, accounting for between 30 and 50% of annual precipitation, their increasing intensity is creating more extreme flooding events. This particular atmospheric river was rated as Category 4 to 5 on the atmospheric river scale, indicating extreme intensity with high potential for hazardous impacts. The National Weather Service even deployed Hurricane Hunter aircraft to collect data from this storm system, an unusual measure that really highlights the storm's exceptional nature. Lake effect snow events, while typical for the Great Lakes region during winter, have also been enhanced by warmer-than-normal lake temperatures this fall. The lakes have stayed unfrozen longer than average, providing more moisture for these intense snow bands when Arctic air masses move over them. Historical perspective. The current winter storm outbreak ranks among the most significant multi-hazard events of the past decade. The Pacific Northwest flooding rivals the historic floods of 2021 and 2024, with some locations receiving their highest river levels on record. The Snohomish River, Skagit River, and Cedar River all broke all-time flood records during this event. For the Great Lakes region, the lake effect snow event earlier this month was one of the most significant in recent years, with Erie, Pennsylvania, becoming the snowiest city in America, surpassing even Anchorage, Alaska. Some locations received over 50 inches of snow in just 48 hours. These extreme events are occurring against a backdrop of a changing climate. And while individual storms can't be directly attributed to climate change, the intensity and impacts we're seeing are consistent with scientific predictions about how winter weather patterns are evolving. Emergency resources and information. If you're experiencing a life-threatening emergency, always call 911 immediately. For non-emergency weather information, your local National Weather Service office provides the most accurate and up-to-date forecasts for your specific area. Be sure to sign up for emergency alerts from your local county or municipality. These systems can send you critical warnings directly to your phone via text message. Many areas also have weather radio systems that provide continuous weather information and automatic alerts for severe weather. For those dealing with flooding, never attempt to drive through flooded roadways. Just 6 inches of moving water can sweep a vehicle off the road. Turn around, don't drown. If you become trapped in your vehicle during a flood, exit immediately and move to higher ground, if possible. For folks in heavy snow areas, avoid overexertion when shoveling snow. Cold weather and physical exertion are a dangerous combination for those with heart conditions. Take frequent breaks and watch for signs of hypothermia and frostbite. Conclusion. This has been an extraordinary weather week across North America, with multiple high-impact events occurring simultaneously across different regions. The combination of flooding atmospheric rivers in the Pacific Northwest, blizzard conditions across the Northern Plains and Great Lakes, and fire weather concerns in Colorado represents a perfect storm of dangerous weather conditions. As we move into the next 3 days and toward the holiday week, residents across the affected areas must remain vigilant and prepared. Weather conditions can change rapidly, and what starts as rain can quickly transition to ice or snow, creating hazardous situations in just minutes. Stay informed through official weather sources. Follow all warnings and advisories from local authorities and prioritize safety over schedule. The weather will eventually improve, but lives lost to preventable accidents cannot be replaced. This is Sky Alert USA, keeping you informed and prepared for whatever weather comes our way. Stay safe, stay warm, and stay weather aware. We'll continue to monitor these developing situations and provide updates